Hey, how's it doing? It's January 15th. What's happening in the world? I'm going to rapid fire through some news headlines and go into a little bit of detail on each. Apparently, the world is 88 trillion in debt amid a wave of elections. World leaders are hamstrung. I think that title should say everything for you as world leaders are flocking to Davos for an elite meeting on the planet's most pressing problems: two major wars, a shipping crisis, cyber attacks, and more alarming evidence that the climate emergency is here. Yep, they plan on getting there to converge and discuss how they can make some more moolah while we all suffer, while at the core of the problem is behavioral crisis, scientists say. A new paper claims unless demand for resources is reduced, many other innovations are just sticking plaster. Record heat, record emissions, record fossil fuel consumption, 1 month out from conference of parties. The world is further from ever from reaching its collective climate goals. Quote, we've socially engineered ourselves the way we engineered the planet, this paper suggests, and the climate breakdown is a symptom of ecological overshoot, which deserves an entirely separate video, which I will go into on my acceptance of this topic, which in turn is caused by the deliberate exploitation of human behavior. Quote, we need to become mindful of the way we're being manipulated. Yeah, fat chance of that. How about the Cowboys and Green Bay game last night? I was at the restaurant and everybody was glued to the screen, could not look away. Back to the article, most climate solutions proposed so far only tackle symptoms rather than the root of the crisis, which is leads to increasing levels of three levers of overshoot: consumption, waste, and population. They claim that unless demand for resources is reduced, many other innovations are just, again, sticking plaster. We can deal with climate change and worsen overshoot. The material footprint of renewable energy is dangerously under-discussed. These energy farms have to be rebuilt every few decades. They're not going to solve the bigger problem unless we tackle demand. Don't my subscribers know much about that? Enough about it. From NPR, U.S., so back to how we're doing. Cut climate pollution in 2023. We cut climate pollution in 2023, but not fast enough. Yep. U.S. emissions declined only 1.9% in 2023, despite a growing economy, which is tied to fossil fuel consumption. Side note, research group Rhodium Group, the U.S. has pledged to cut 50%. U.S. emissions are currently at 17.2% 2005 levels, but for the 23 goal, we need to see more than triple that every year. Yeah, even the International Energy Agency, which has a depopulation agenda, schizophrenic, paranoid, everything that could be disease X, and to cut us down, let's just take every fact and turn it around because they want to take us down, right? Makes you sound smart, huh? Like you know something other people don't. See how absolutely crazy I sound? Okay, so they say it's expected to grow by 2.5 times by 2030, but they need to go further to achieve the goal of tripling it. Okay, by the international agency working off the IPCC, which was designed to fail. World governments, agreed in Dubai. In the absence of any help for African and low-income countries, they will not reach their clean energy targets. That will be a fault line in reaching the 2030 goal. Meanwhile, big climate goals strip local power to block green projects. So because of zoning, more than a dozen states have given themselves the power to override local zoning restrictions that block large-scale renewable energy projects. So clean developers, say in Lansing, Michigan, have planned a 75-turbine wind farm in mid-Michigan's Montcalm County before local voters shot it down the idea in 2022 and 7 local officials who had supported it. So, in essence, we have these zoning and restriction laws that are blocking large-scale renewable projects, even though that is exactly what we need. But because of widespread social denial, not just about climate, but about our food. It's not just seafood. New study finds microplastics in nearly 90% of protein sampled, including plant-based meat alternatives. So you're putting that plastic down your gullet when you eat, plant meat. Okay, styrofoam. So we're corroding our bodies and our brains. Steve Jobs thought devices would become a bicycle for their mind, but their effect on our brain is similar to that of smoking and junk food. Side note, even if you have one cigarette a day, that's exponentially worse for you than even not having any cigarettes, okay? Between stimulus and response, there's a space, and in that space lies our freedom or power to choose our response. It's time to reclaim that space, says Fortune. So, Steve Jobs, which I took my 35-year-old photo based off him, mixed feelings, but I did it anyways. I admired his simplistic qualities, although that's debatable because he denied he even had a kid for a while. Yeah, okay, so public awareness and education, blah, 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 policy interventions, money, as the world's nuclear money cash rolls everything around me. Rare nuclear bunker lists for sales. America's wealthiest prepare for the worst. Okay, these rich snobs who just got much richer. I'll get into that in a moment, I think. Or there was an article, I didn't pull it up, but the top 5 got richer while the rest of us got poor. Serfs, slaves. This bunker is like in this, there's an entrance in this woodworking shop. It was converted into a house and family house in 1990, but actually in the garage, there's an entrance, Fallout style. Look at that swank underground bunker. Okay, for the rich, not for you. The kitchen, living space with a fridge and sink. Maybe I might try to build something like this. It would take me years and years and years. A lift, okay. One of 3 bathrooms. It looks like a big tub there, like a jacuzzi. Zuckerberg's all up on that as global warming pushes ocean temperatures off the charts, says a study. Big sigh. Annually, the entire globe consumes around half a zettajoule of energy to fuel our economies. Another way to think about this is 15 zettajoules is enough to boil away 2.3 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Okay. Record highs. You guys all saw this chart. And it's continuing to do that. Just that. Maybe we've crossed seafloor methane tipping points. Who knows? It's okay, though, because Joe Manchin, our coal-loving friend, says, I love my country too much to vote for Trump. Yes. The guy who wants to destroy America says he wouldn't vote for another guy that would destroy it. Oh, it's full of contradictions. John Kerry to leave Biden administration. In fact, furthermore so, what about him? What about Boris Johnson? What about Conference of Parties? Huh? What did any of it do? Do you remember Boris Johnson? Does he even cross your mind? Not much more effect than a potato. I agree with you, Roger Hallam. He's 80 years old, and, Biden's reelection is the single biggest difference for climate, blah, blah, blah. So he's dropping down from climate delegate, even though they did nothing, and he flew around on private jets. Okay, but it's okay, because Trump says vote and then die. It's worth it. Yeah, we will be inhabiting a completely different planet in 10 years, if we're still around. Oh, and also North Korea launched another ballistic missile. Okay, that's been what's happening in the world. Great times, huh? Enjoy serfdom. Work harder. You're not working hard enough. I'll talk to you soon. Hit like and subscribe. Use the donation link below. It means a lot. See ya.